This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by former world champion Oscar Valdez here in sunny and hot Las Vegas. Oscar, always a pleasure. How is life treating you?
Pretty good, man. I'm just right now. I'm very excited to come back strong. That's my main focus, my main goal. I've been out of the ring for more than a year right now, so I'm just anxious to step in the ring and start throwing blows.
This time outside of the ring, Oscar, just reflect on it for me. What have you been doing in the meantime, and why has it been such a wait for you to return?
Well, in the meantime, we've been doing a lot of things. Enjoy my family. As for the most part, that's the biggest thing because as a boxer, so in the boxing career, you got to do a lot of sacrifices. One of the biggest sacrifices for me is not the diet, it's not the workout, it's not the waking up in the mornings. It's leaving the family behind. It's leaving the wife and the kids and everyone back home, and you being isolated from everybody. So that's my biggest sacrifice. And when I'm not boxing, I'm enjoying every second, every moment with my family.
Adam Lopez, obviously somebody you fought previously. Why rematch him?
They mentioned his name. They mentioned his name, and back when we fought in 2019, he drops me in the first round. Then I drop him in the seventh round, and over accepts his punches. The referee decides to stop the fight. He was upset. He was upset. He said he's been over the years saying that he got robbed from an opportunity, robbed from the fight, that he should have done this, should have done that, and that's been bugging me for quite some time. Feeling that he feels some type of way of that he got the chance to win. So when they mentioned his name, I said, let's take it, let's do it. I want to prove once and for all that I will be better than him.
On that note, do you expect to see more of an emphatic finish for you? Are you looking to produce a better stoppage than what you did last time?
Well, my main goal is just to win because obviously the more you win, the higher rankings you go up, and then you go closer to your goal. My goal is to become a world champion. So right now, I just want to win the fight, and look on for the next step.
Oscar, those ambitions, those plans to become world champion again. Walk me through what you feel is the most likely route for you.
I'm sorry.
The most likely route for you to try and become a world champion again. When you look at the other champions, what do you think is most likely for you?
For for me, the biggest step for me becoming WBO world champion. We got the fighter Vaquero Navarrete, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be here. But we've been hearing his name a lot. We've been seeing that that's the fight that is gonna happen after this one. But right now, like I said, I'm just focused on this fight. Because you can never bet against somebody who's hungry for to winning. So um, right now, I'm very focused on this fighter, and once God willing, we win, we'll look on for the next one.
I can tell by your answer you don't want to kind of dwell too much on what could be next when you want to get Saturday out of the way. But just looking at your division, obviously Joe Cordina recently picking up that IBF title. Oshiki Foster's got another version, as you mentioned, Navarrete, and obviously you got Ray Vargas there as well. So Ray Vargas right below even. But yeah, just those three champions. What have you made of kind of the leading names in the division, the other champions? Who do you think would be your toughest test?
All of them. All of them are tough, are the toughest ones because they all have different styles, and the reason why they mentioned this name is because the people want it. When I was champion at 130, everywhere I went, they would mention Shakur Stevenson, and there was other names thrown out there. There was the mandatory fights, but everywhere I went, where's the Shakur Stevenson gonna fight? That was the big question. So if the fans want it, I want it. So nowadays we got this fight coming up, and then people are asking for the Vaquero Navarrete fight. That's the only reason why we mentioned this fight. But if there was other opportunities like O'Shea Foster, the WB, the WBC, and the IBF, and WBA, man, we'll take all of any of them. So the goal is to become a world champion and to keep on growing as a fighter.
Obviously, as a Brit, just your thoughts on Joe Cordina. What would you make of a fight with him? What did you make of his most recent performance to pick up that IBF strap?
He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter, and of course, if he has that belt, he's a target. He's a target. Everybody wants that fight. Everybody wants to. If you're a fighter at 130 and you see the guy with champion, you want to take that belt away from him. So he's a great fighter. Obviously he's done a lot of sacrifices and he has tough fights to become the world champion that he is, and he deserves a lot of respect for that. But now, when you're a champion, having me being a champion before and having that experience, you're a target from all the other fighters from the 130s. Everybody wants to fight you now. So yeah, he's definitely a possibility in the future.
Would you travel over to the UK for that fight?
If Bob Arum says it, I'll definitely do it. Bob's the boss for me. He's the boss. Him and my manager. I'll do it. I'm a fighter. I was born to fight. I fought in the amateur world. I fought in London. I fought in China. I fought in Japan. I fought all over the world. It's never been a case for me. I boxed ever since I was 8 years old. So fighting for me is not the problem. We got our managers and the promoters who call the shots.
And Oscar, just get your thoughts on a few other topics. The main event for Saturday night, Haney-Lomachenko. What goes down?
It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. It's a 50-50 fight in my eyes because I've always been a Lomachenko fanatic ever since I was in the amateurs. Even though we fought, I've always liked his style. He's a great fighter. But Devin Haney's just he's got that youth. He's got the youth behind him. He's got that weight advantage. I feel he blows up to 20 pounds even the next day. He's got that long reach, and he's hungry as well to become the next Floyd. So if I'm a betting man, it's a stay away bet for me because I see it 50-50. I got no winner on that fight. I can visualize Haney winning, and I can vision Lomachenko winning. So I don't really know who will win, but it's going to be a good fight. That's what I can say.
You've said it's a 50-50. Is it a surprise to you that on the betting front, a lot of the betting companies have Devin quite a significant favourite?
I'm surprised about the odds as far as that fight. They got Devin Haney a huge favorite, so I don't know what they're saying or why they counted Lomachenko. Maybe because of his last performance, but people gotta look at what Lomachenko was going through in that time. He came out from his country's war and all those things. Also, maybe Lomachenko's not 100% there at the moment. So you can never. There's a saying in boxing: you're only as good as your last fight. Lomachenko didn't look like the normal Lomachenko his last fight, so maybe that's the reason why.
Oscar, obviously, we recently saw campmate of yours, Canelo Alvarez, overcome in John Ryder. What did you make of his performance in that? And a very gutsy performance from John as well.
John did a good fight. He's very defensive. He had that style of locking in, trying to cover up those shots, and it was working. Saud was trying to give the fans what they want. He was trying to give the fans a knockout. That's what I captured from watching the fight. And I think he got a little bit tired in the later rounds, but that was due to the fact that he's throwing a lot of haymakers, trying to give the fans a knockout. But I think it was a good performance. He won clearly, obviously, but much respect for Ryder and much respect for Canelo for that performance.
He's made no secret of his desire to rematch Dimitri Bivol next. If that one does go ahead, the version you saw against John Ryder, can that version reverse the result we saw in the first Dimitri Bivol fight?
He's not going to train the way he trained for Ryder with Bivol. He's going to train way different. So I see Canelo winning the rematch with Bivol because I've seen him. I work with him side to side in the gym, and I can see sometimes there's priorities for him. Maybe he's playing a little bit more golf. Maybe he's being a little bit more with the family, not being inside the ring, inside the gym. But for Bivol, I see that tiger eye, the eye of a tiger right there. He's very focused on winning that fight, so he will train very different for that fight.
Just a final topic, Oscar. Ryan Garcia has obviously reached out, had some conversations with Eddy about potentially teaming back up with him, moving back into the gym. Your thoughts if that one was to go down?
Well, that would be Eddie's decision, obviously. When they were working together, they had a good chemistry. I felt they were doing. Ryan was improving with Eddy. Eddie's a great trainer, and I think Ryan knows that. Maybe they had some difficulties on some things that went on in their camp, but hopefully they can settle things right. And if he comes back, good. If he doesn't, I wish nothing but the best for Ryan. He's a great kid. He has amazing talent, and he has a great background, following, so he could be good for boxing for sure.
What did you make of his performance against Gervonta Davis?
He was doing all right till he got clipped. So it's boxing. It's what happens. Just because you have a loss doesn't mean you should retire or you should be done. All the greats have losses. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Chavez, they have losses. So it doesn't matter if you lose. What matters is how you come back. If you come back strong. So his last performance, he got hit to that body. A lot of people were criticizing him that he should have gotten up, but those body shots are extremely hurtful. And when you get hit good to the body, there's nothing you can do about it, but to just stay down.
All right, Oscar, I know a queue's formed behind me, so I don't keep it too long. So thank you for your time. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you.